Hey everyone, I'm Dana Alfirovic, and welcome back to Knowledge Mondays, your go-to weekly series for quick and actionable networking advice. I'm here with our special guest, Diane Helbig. She's a business advisor and trainer at Helbig Enterprises. Thank you so much for being here, Diane.
Thanks for having me.
So, our theme of the month of November is handling judgment at networking events.
Mm.
And Diane, my question for you is what advice do you have for someone to give them some strategies where they can stay present if they feel like they are being judged or compared to others at networking events?
So it's an interesting question. Thank you for it. The first thing I have to say is, how do I want to say this? It doesn't matter what other people think. Okay. So people are probably not judging you. They are just curious about you, want to get to know you. There may be some, every once in a while you may come across someone who is just sort of um, a jerk, for lack of a better word, and you have to put that in
I've
its
been there.
place, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. And it has nothing to do with you. It is all about them and what's going on in their world. So um, I find that when we are more curious about other people, we are more comfortable and we're talking less, which is good. So we're not necessarily putting ourselves in a place to be judged, if that makes sense, right? Just
yes.
ask people about themselves, their business, listen, pay attention, let the conversation go in that direction. And that's where confidence builds.
That's great. And I really agree with you. Like being curious is a really good way to kind of manage that anxiety. So, a follow-up question I have. So, how could someone kind of shift their focus from comparison to others to kind of focus on the unique value they bring? Like, let's say, um, you're a business advisor and there's a lot of other, competitors out there and they're, much older and they have more experience. How can you,
Mm.
instead of feeling so kind of like you don't fit in or you're not good enough for them, how can you focus on your unique value at the events?
Yeah. So you have to remember that uh, the great thing is that we are all different, and you bring something to the table that other people don't. The clients you are supposed to do business with, you will do business with. The ones you are not supposed to do business with, you won't. So it's really about not comparing yourself to other people. Because it doesn't matter who else is in the room. It doesn't matter
Hmm.
how long they've been in business or not, how outgoing they are, how sure of themselves they seem. None of it matters. You bring something special to a particular audience. So that's all that as an advisor, I will say this. There are tons of us out there, right?
Hmm.
I can go to a networking event, there can be tons of us in the room. It doesn't really matter to me because I'm only going to do business with the people and the companies where there's synergy. So I'm okay with them being there, with meeting them, with getting to know them. I may end up referring people to them, but I don't compare myself to them because there is no comparison, right? We're always going to be different.
That's true.
That's what makes each one of us special to a certain audience. And that's all that really matters in there. You're not going to do business with everyone. You're not competing with those other people.
I love that. Thank you. So, kind of another follow-up question. Do you have any tips or mindset practices you could use for folks to show up more authentically at networking events and kind of to help with stop focusing on the judgment and just being themselves?
Yes, I do. And here's what it is. When you go networking, assume no one in the room needs what you have to sell. Okay? Doesn't matter what it is,
Mm.
just that no one in the room needs you.
Mm.
That way, you won't be in sales mode. So you won't give people a reason to judge you because you won't be behaving in a way that you shouldn't, right? You won't be trying to sell. Your real goal with networking, in my opinion, is to learn about who's in the room, to discover how they might fit into your world. So some are going to fit in as resources that you can share with other people. Some will be business friends who you will build a relationship with over time. You may never refer each other, you may never do business together, it doesn't matter. There's a certain connection there. There are going to be some people in the room who you don't want to have anything to do with. The only way you're going to know is if you're walking into the room with curiosity and saying, let me learn. Let me find out about a couple of people. Let me start the process of figuring out who I want to continue to build a relationship with or who I want to continue to learn more about. That way, it's not about you. I think the reason why people feel judgment or fear or discomfort or whatever is because they think it's about them and they have to make a certain impression and they have to say the right thing and they have to do all of these things. And the truth is, it's not. No one cares, right? They care about themselves. They want to talk about themselves,
True.
right? They don't care about what you sell. So stop. You'll end up getting business,
Mhm.
not necessarily directly, but you will. The beauty part is that you will build some amazing relationships that will lead to referrals, that will lead to learning, that will lead to finding out about other events, that will lead to you growing as a business person. There's a whole lot of things, and you being more valuable to the other people you meet because now you have these resources that you can share with them. That's really the true value, in my opinion, of networking.
I agree, and I really like how you mentioned assume no one needs your services. I think that's a great mindset, and also it puts less pressure on yourself because you think, oh, I don't care. If you don't care,
Yeah,
yeah, like no one wants, someone who's too pushy. So I think that's
right.
a good
Yeah,
strategy to have. And I
yeah.
love how you mentioned just focus on learning who's in the room. And I think, yeah, those conversations will happen naturally about, kind of what you do in your services. So I think that's a really great way to go.
Thank you. Yeah, it works. Trust me,
It
I've been doing it
does.
for a long time. It works.
So I know I just want to ask you one more question because I really value your expertise. You mentioned that a lot of networking can turn into those long-term relationships, especially with referrals. How do you recommend going about that, finding a potential referral partner at a networking event or getting referrals?
Yeah. Um, Slow down is my biggest advice. We were just talking about this morning in a meeting I was in. They have to get to know you and you have to get to know them. And you need to know, like everyone needs to know how the other person does business, how they deal with their clients, the actual value that they bring, what makes a good client for them. And that trust happens over time. So you can't expect to get referrals from people that you meet right away because they need to get to know you. And you don't want to give referrals until you really know the business behavior of the other person and who is a good client for them. Because I can tell you from personal experience, I was saying it this morning in this meeting. I met someone, we hit this woman, we hit it off. She's brilliant. I thought, whatever. I had a client who had a need. I referred her in. I didn't know her well enough. She was terrible. And I had to
Mm,
fire her
mm,
from my client. Okay. You don't want to be in that sort of situation. So it's one thing to say, wow, this person seems so together.
mm.
Yeah, well, we all seem so together when we're in public.
That's true.
Take the time to get to know them. Do they return phone calls? Do they follow up? Do they follow through, just like the
Good
whole,
point.
do they really know what they're talking about? I mean, there's a whole lot of things that take time to really be sure that you've got the right partner, the right person who you can refer and who can refer you.
I agree, and that's really important, especially if you refer a client to someone and then it's a bad experience. It could,
Yeah.
unintentionally look bad on you. So I think that's a great lesson for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. It's people expect immediate, like, and if there's a particular kind of company that seems like they would be a good referral source. So for example, like a small business CPA firm, that can be true, but it doesn't mean that it's any small business CPA firm. You have to find the right one, right? So you
Mm,
can go in search of and you can have one-on-ones and really, do relationship building. First of all, they have to understand the need and the desire for the relationship. They have to be good at what they do. They have to be dealing with the right audience. There's just a lot of variables to it. So take the time to do the work because it will pay off for years to come. The other thing is, you never know really where a referral is going to come from, but what I have found is that the referrals come from the people who appreciate you and trust you because they've been able to watch you. So you've
mm.
always shown up, you've always done what you said you were going to do, you have integrity, you're more interested in them than you are in making a sale. Like all of these things, you build these really great relationships, and then referrals come when there's a need and when they're supposed to, not they're not forced, I guess. They don't happen that way. The good ones don't.
Good, and that's so important. So to recap, to get referrals, you kind of focus on the long-term plan, be more interested in them than getting a sale, and make sure to stay true to your word and kind of, see them regularly.
Yeah, yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Diane. I really appreciate your insights. If folks want to learn more about you, where could they find you?
Sure. Going to my website, Helbig Enterprises, is really the best way because everything is there and they can reach out through there if they want to. So,
Great, great. And I will leave her website in the comment for
okay.
everyone. So thank you guys so much for attending this episode of Knowledge Mondays. If you liked it, make sure to give us a follow and leave a comment and make sure to share this with a friend who could use this advice. Thank you guys so much. Bye now.